Welcome back to another episode of Have Game Will Travel. I'm your host, Bennett Newsome, also known as Dammit Bennett out in the gaming community. As the Director of Esports Growth and Development here at Full Sail University, I'm super passionate about exploring the diverse world of esports and gaming beyond just skill level. So whether you're a first-time listener or a returning fan, we're thrilled to have you join us for this virtual journey through the experiences of industry professionals. So get ready to engage with our guests and learn from their perspectives. Remember to submit your questions in chat and we'll get them featured here on the show. But sit back, enjoy the ride as we kick off another episode of Have Game Will Travel with my good friend MiaMouse. Welcome. How are you doing? How's it
Hi,
going?
Bennett. It's going so good. How have you been?
I've been fantastic. Mia, why don't you go ahead and just tell all the great people all about yourself and what you do, and we'll start there.
All right. For anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Mia Aramita, aka MiaMouse, if you know me from gaming. I actually am an alumni of Full Sail University from the Dan Patrick School of Sportscasting. I graduated, I want to say 2-ish years ago now, which is crazy to say because it does not feel like that long. But I am a Valorant content creator as well as also on-air talent for events for esports and entertainment. And recently, I've been doing a program with MasterCard called the MasterCard Gamer Academy. So that's pretty much everything about me right now.
Yeah, I love that. So we're gonna dive into all of that. There's so much to get into, which I'm really excited about. But let's rewind all the way back. Talk to me about how you kind of first got into gaming, and when did you feel like this and kind of realize that this was actually something that you wanted to pursue seriously?
Yeah, I mean, I've been gaming for a long time. I feel like for most people in the gaming industry, it started since they were a kid. For
Right.
me, I have two younger brothers. So for the longest time, I played Nintendo. Then we got an Xbox 360. I played Xbox 360. When Xbox One came out, was my first FPS game. I played Overwatch in 2016. And I became like really interested in Overwatch and the Overwatch League as well when that was super popular. And then COVID hit in 2020. I was still playing Overwatch in
Yeah.
2020. And I was like, you know what? The whole entire world shut down. The only thing that didn't shut down was gaming and esports. And
Yeah.
I already wanted to go into broadcasting. Um, I wanted to go into like news or entertainment, but
Right.
obviously I couldn't do events in entertainment because there were no entertainment events in 2020.
Right.
And that's when I graduated high school. So I was trying to figure out what I want to do for the rest of my life. And I was like, "Oh, shoot." I just realized I can't curse. Oh, shoot. Um, I and then I was like, "Okay, so let's go broadcast esports is where I wanna go because I already love gaming and I love broadcasting, so let me just smash the 2 together."
Now, was this like a in 2020 type of thought, like, or had you done things prior to that that really kind of set off the, hey, I like to be in front of the camera, I like to, be a personality? Like, were there things that were set in that, or was this just kind of something you were like, hey, I'm gonna try this, so we'll see how it goes?
With gaming itself, I was always like in love with content creation
Yeah.
and I watched a lot of Minecraft YouTubers when I was younger and I always tried to become a Minecraft YouTuber like when I was like 14 years old and would post videos and stuff. So I was always in front of the camera and in high school I also like would be the person that did all the morning announcements on the
Okay.
smart board
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just like announced everything that was going on for the day. So I've always wanted to be in front of the camera. I just didn't know what I wanted to do exactly in front of the camera yet.
I see. I see. So, how did you kind of discover Full Sail and the Dan Patrick School of Sportscasting?
So originally, when I graduated in 2020, I went to school in Manhattan, but Manhattan was super dead. Like you know how they say like the city doesn't sleep? Well, in 2020 to 2022, the city slept for a good 2
Right.
years
Yeah.
and there was no opportunities, no internships, no anything. So my mom was like, "Mia, like you want to be in camera like in person on camera and like this is not doing it for you." And
Yeah.
at the time my brother always loved Full Sail University because he wanted to go for animation.
Okay.
So he's like, "Mia, like why don't you just go to this art school in Florida?" Because Florida's rules was a little more leeway with
Right.
the in-person stuff
Hmm.
compared to New York, but also in Florida things are more spread out.
Right.
So it made more sense. Like in New York, we have tiny little buildings, so like only 2 people could have went in it. And then in Florida, I mean the campus of Full Sail University, the classrooms have a lot more space for a
Yeah.
lot more people. So that was the main reason why I transferred, was to go to school in person. I'm a really bad online learner,
Okay.
and yeah, like just really bad. So I was getting nothing out of it. Uh, so that was the main reason why I went to Full Sail. And honestly, one of the best decisions of my life. And it wasn't even my decision; it was my mom's decision. She was like, "You should leave."
You should go. I think
Yeah,
you should leave.
yeah,
I love that. But I think that's such a cool part of it because I feel like you coming to campus, and I remember the first time I heard about MiaMouse. Right, it was
yeah.
from our good friend Colorblind, aka Quinn. He said you have to meet her. She's
Shout
incredible,
out.
and yeah, and so I said okay, cool, and we finally met, and we're like we're gonna do some cool stuff with you here at Full
Mhm.
Sail. So talk to me about your content creation side of things. When did that start, and how did that kind of evolve from that timeline?
Yeah, so content creation again was something, a part of me as soon as like I got my first iPod touch. Like I was immediately, I used to create stop motion videos of Legos. I used to post them online as soon as Instagram came out, I think in 2012 or
Right.
13. I probably should not have been on Instagram at however young I was, but what I did was I created like a fan account for Minecraft YouTubers, for anime, and I would edit them and like to music and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Or I would analyze different clips. And I was so young doing this. I taught myself like Adobe at, I think it was in the 8th grade, 7th grade. I want to say
Okay.
7th grade. I taught myself how to edit on Adobe Premiere, and I just always was posting on Instagram and on fan accounts and stuff like that. And when I really became real about content creation was during COVID. My boyfriend actually said, like, Mia, if you're gonna stream, if you're gonna play so much, like
Yeah.
why don't you just stream it? Like, it doesn't matter if anyone watches it. You might as well just stream it if you're going to play. Because he used to stream all of his games that he played as well. And then he ended up getting like 15 to 20 average viewers and used to have like a little community.
Yeah.
So he's like, maybe you could create a little community too.
Yeah.
And as I started streaming, I had a video blow up on TikTok, and I had the most wackest setup you could ever think of. I had a gaming laptop on a folding table with a folding chair with a headset mic, and that was my setup. And I had then all of a sudden 20 viewers overnight. I went from 0 to 20 viewers.
Yeah.
Like I streamed every single day for a full year to 0 viewers, like for hours a day. And I remember I sat my parents down. I was like, I want to do this for the rest of my life, and I'm gonna make it happen. And
Yeah.
I had 0 viewers at the time, and no one followed me, so they were like, "Do whatever, go ahead, like,
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
whatever you want."
Well, talk to me. What was the video that blew up that brought you from 0 to 20? What do you remember
Yeah.
the video specifically?
Oh, of course, because that same night I went from I think 1,000 followers on TikTok to 10,000.
That's
So it's
crazy.
like, yeah, oh, literally within 24 hours. It was my Ray's cosplay that blew
Okay.
up. For anyone that does,
Okay.
yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, Raze is a character in Valorant, and I was looking for a Halloween costume one year, and I decided to do it as Raze, but everyone thought I was a cosplayer. I actually did not know what cosplay was. It was just my Halloween costume, and my transition blew up. Carolina, the voice actress for Raze, reached
Yeah.
out to me and duetted my video and all of that good stuff. And then Riot Games saw it, Valorant commented on it, And that's like really where I began. I became the raised girl of
Yep.
Valorant ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is very cool because like that continues to evolve, right? Like to this day,
Yeah.
like you're still doing that, and I remember being at DreamHack and you were making a TikTok with the voice actor, and it was a very cool thing to see
Yeah.
in person and see this thing really evolve for you. So, how did you part of your journey? Obviously, you have your goals as a content creator, but then you also have your goals as a live event broadcast host and interviewer, and caster,
Yeah.
all of these things. How did your time at Full Sail help you prepare for all of these things, from content creation to the broadcast side of
Mhm.
things?
Yes, I think Full Sail really helped me prepare for all of this because before Full Sail, I felt a little lost in not only in my career, but in myself as a person. And I feel like Full Sail really took the creativity out of me and showed me what I could really do with it. Just between going to school for sportscasting and also Armada as well. I mean, just all the events I've done through Armada, all the opportunities that you guys have given me has really prepared myself for the industry, for like, it's given me motivation. And I remember when I was in school, it was like the most motivated I have ever been. You would think I was going to school from like 9 to 5, that I wouldn't want to come home and edit and then stream for
Right.
another 4 hours. But it was the complete opposite because of how motivated I was through school. It was like a domino effect that motivated me in my like personal endeavors as well.
Yeah. What was
Yeah.
that moment where you kind of felt like you finally found your voice? I mean, we talked about going from 0 to 20 to now, having a large community, having we'll talk about this in a little bit, but 100,000 followers on TikTok.
Yeah.
There was a moment where you really figured it out and you knew what your voice was, and then you continued to just be creative and hit that continually
Yeah.
as going. What was that moment? When did you figure that out?
I never thought of this. So let me think for a second. I'm trying to figure out, 'cause I'm still figuring it out. And I think everyone is constantly always figuring it out. But I think maybe halfway through my journey at Full Sail is when I was like, okay, this is me. There's
Yeah.
no changing me. This is who you get. This is MiaMouse. And before then, I was constantly changing for everyone. One person was like, I don't like the way you do this, or I don't like the way you do this. So I
Right.
changed. And then one person was like, I think your hair looks better this way, or I think you look better this way. And like people will do it, especially in like the broadcasting world. You'll
Yeah.
have mentors or like um just anyone in general that wants to give you advice. Maybe they don't think that you'll think of it later on, but any piece of critique that someone gave me, I used to like really look into and be like, how can I fix this about myself? And then you have to just come to a realization, everything is personal preference.
Yeah.
Like what I think is right is wrong to someone else and vice versa. So I think halfway through the program is when I realized that I'm comfortable with myself.
Mm-hmm.
And once I was comfortable with myself, it allowed me to be more confident within my own content, which I think really shined through because I wasn't scared to be my authentic self,
Yeah.
even if it was like a little silly or a little goofy. And not everyone likes that. And I understand that now,
Yep.
but you can't please everyone. And I think when you come to that realization, it helps you in your own creative journey.
Yeah, absolutely. The authenticity, I think, is so important, especially as
Mhm.
you're building community. Obviously you're on when the lights are on and you're in front of the camera, but talking to the audience that you've built, and just building that community. Those are people on the other end, right? They want to be part of the Mia Mouse Club, or whatever it
Yeah.
is. Like you've just got to really truly be yourself, and I love that you found that. While obviously taking in feedback from others is good, and you can learn
Yeah.
a lot from it. Being true to yourself obviously really goes far, which is awesome.
Mhm.
We do have our first question from chat, and we want to get to
Okay.
that from Samurai Tank, aka Sari. She says, "Do you have any tips on staying focused on your craft or holding yourself accountable?"
Yeah, so staying focused is definitely something I still struggle with because I think also since I work for myself and I'm a content creator and I also do freelance and then I also do like advertisements for brands as well. I want to do everything at once and
Yeah.
it's you can't do everything at once. So I think making schedules for myself, I have like a wall over here. I don't know if you could see it. It's like
Yeah.
this is my brainstorming wall and I have a bunch of post-its and calendars and lists and everything that I oh, well, hold on guys.
Oh, nailed
um
it.
yeah, exactly. Um but I think just for me, making a schedule for myself, making goals for myself too, and trying to achieve those goals as much as possible, but also to not get disappointed if you don't achieve
Yeah,
them
yeah.
is a hard thing to do.
Absolutely. Talking about your schedule, like, what is it? You don't have to show me on the camera because we know what it looks like now.
Yeah.
But like, what does it
Yeah.
actually look like? How do you balance all of these things? You talk about doing content creation, streaming, editing, freelancing, possible other
Yeah.
events. Like, how do you balance that?
It is just a constant work in progress. I right now the main things that I am balancing are I do content creation. I stream on Twitch 5 days a week.
Yeah.
I edit content daily. I am with the MasterCard Gamer Academy right now, which I'm sure we will get to soon. But I do weekly meetings with them.
Okay.
I also do 3 trips in the year with them as well. I've done some freelance work this year, whether if it's through brands or I've done some with Full Sail. And then I will also do sponsorships and brand deals with companies.
Yep.
So for me, what a typical day looks like, I wake up and I immediately check all my emails. I see if I need to answer any brands, any sponsors, any freelance opportunities, and I will, either send my rates, bargain with people, and stuff like that for an hour or two. And then after that, I will go into editing. I will edit for like 2 to 3 hours. I will make sure I eat and shower between all of this as well.
Yes.
And then at 7 p.m. EST, I stream pretty much every single day.
Okay.
I also live with my family, so I make sure I have some family time
Yeah.
as well.
Which I
Yeah.
feel like that's a perfect segue because there's a lot of content that includes your family and not just like your
Yeah.
brothers and your parents, like your extended family. Like, talk to
Yeah.
us about building that type of content and where those ideas came from.
Yeah. So I am very family oriented. I'm Italian, and I feel like this is just a given. As soon as someone says they're Italian, just assume they have the most massive family you could ever believe. I grew up on a block where there was my block, then there was the block in front of me and the block behind me, and we just had 60 cousins on those 3 blocks. And like some of them were my age, some of them were older, some of them were younger. But I also just in general, if I had to say like if I had a family party tomorrow, I would have 300 relatives invited. And I'm
Yeah.
not joking. So always growing up, they were like the biggest part of my life. I never really had, this is going to sound sad. I don't mean it to sound sad. I never really had friends, not because I didn't want to have friends, because I never had time. I have a family party every single weekend. Like I'm just constantly with them.
They
So
were built
when
in. You got
exactly. So
it.
it's just with me, it's like you get me, but with me, you also get the rest of us
Yeah.
because they are all so nosy too. Like they want to know what I'm doing. So my best way to show them what I do is to get them involved.
Yeah.
And as soon as they're involved, then they kind of understand this is some sort of entertainment that you do for people.
Hmm.
So I also think that they're hilarious because I think New York Italians have a very specific um personality
Yeah.
to them. And we're just all very loud, very silly, very goofy, and just take nothing serious. So I was like, you get me, but you also get like 90 clones of me.
Yeah, and
So
and there's like a
yeah,
reoccurring role too for some of your family members to come on and
yeah.
continue to do the
And
content.
chat loves it. They love it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
speaking of this content, you just hit 100,000 followers on TikTok.
Hmm.
So first and foremost, congratulations on that. That's a huge
Thank you.
accomplishment. Talk to me a little bit about how you grew this community. What do you think resonated with people the most?
So I've been growing my community, I think, ever since 2021. So it's been 4 years now. And I've gone through moments in time where I gain no followers and moments in time where I gain thousands of followers in a night. Like, obviously, there's like different, depending on the videos I post. This year has been a very good year for me. Last year though was a really bad year for me, and I gained like not one, like did gain followers, but I lost and gained
Right.
the same amount.
Right.
So I it looked like I didn't go anywhere. So when stuff like that happens, you could get like a little hard on yourself because it
Hmm.
looks like that you're not growing. But anyway, it was such a fun journey, hardworking journey, sad journey, mixed emotion journey.
Yeah.
I had a couple really good videos that I'm known for. So, like my Ray's cosplay video is one of them. I also donated a skin to a kid, me and my chat. And it has like 3 million
Yeah.
views or something. Yeah. And like Riot reached out to me, was like, we love that you did this, and we'd like to send you like a little PR package. And like just so much good stuff came out of that video. And I've had a bunch of different videos that I blew up for. I think my raised videos are the ones I'm most known
Yeah.
for. But it seriously has been so much fun. To If I told myself 4 years ago like that I'm going to Toronto Masters and like Riot invited me to go,
Yeah.
I would not have believed past Mia at all.
Absolutely. And you just won Content Creator of the Year at the Game Hers Awards. The accomplishments keep rolling through. What did that mean to you? And tell us a little bit about that.
So that was my first award I've ever received as a creator. So it was one that I hold dear to my heart. And I honestly was shocked when I was watching it. I was like, oh, I didn't get it, and that's okay. And then I saw like my face pop up after like a couple other people. I was like, oh, I did get this. But I think like it makes me feel so happy that I could make other people happy. I think that's the best part about being a creator, is that so many people will come into my chat and be like, watching your stream just made my day a little better. Or I love watching your TikToks because sometimes when I have a hard day at work, it just makes me smile on the bus. And like people
Yeah.
have told me this. And to think that I'm like source of happiness for anyone is just so amazing. So I love creating content. It'll forever be a piece of me. Obviously, I'm trying to have more endeavors in the esports and gaming community
Right.
beyond content, but it will forever be something that will stay with me.
Absolutely. And I think the way that you balance it, I think too, has been really impressive.
Thank you.
Because such an important piece of like your brand as a creator, but also as a broadcast professional, right? Like you get to see a lot of sides of that, and I think they both work with each other and continue to like elevate each other. So you see Mia at this event, and she's casting or hosting,
Mhm.
and then you are able to go watch the stream after and get to know her more. Like I just think that's such a cool way to continue to evolve like what you're doing with content.
Yeah, 100%. I also think it could be hard to balance, but I think it's important if you are going to go into some sort of broadcast talent. I think it is important to have some sort of social presence. It's not required, but I think it definitely helps.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you're already getting out there, right? You're already pushing out
Mhm.
your content, and people are seeing that, and then oh wait, this is an option too. That I think it
Yeah.
opens up a lot of doors that you've already done a lot of the brand work on yourself, and that's
Mhm.
finished, right? Like you can just take that anywhere. Talk to me a little bit about like your creative process and like TikTok specifically. Sometimes I'm sure you can just hit a good clip and you're like, yep, that's gonna be one. But
Yeah.
is there a deeper dive that you do in planning and writing a script? Like like do you have a process that you go through?
Um, for the most part, I like all my moments to be super organic, funny moments. I think those are what gets the most reactions out of someone when
Right.
something's not staged. There are times where I feel like right now I just finished a subathon, so I have so much content that I could edit. Some of it was more scripted or like more like
Right.
event-y or activity based. So it's not scripted, but it's like there's a beginning, middle, and end of a
Right.
video, where most of my videos are just like random, organic, funny moments that happened in game because I ran into this random person. Like it's not
Right.
anything, but sometimes there are times where I don't get that funny moment organically because obviously not every game you go into there's going to be this really like funny guy cracking jokes or this
Right.
really weird toxic person. Like it's not always going to happen.
Right.
So I always make sure to plan. I have a notes app. Whenever I feel like games are going boring, I'm going to initiate something with someone. So I have like a list of jokes that I will say to people who maybe will get a reaction out of my teammates, and then that will maybe be the beginning of a clip.
Yep.
Either they'll start cracking jokes with me, or then they'll like start like cursing me out. Either way, it's content for me.
Yeah.
So I gotta
Hey, you'll get something out
exactly.
of it.
Yeah. So I'm like, if no one else is gonna give me a reaction, I'm going to try to provoke that
Yep.
reaction in like a funny way. And if that doesn't work, then we always do like the typical, let me guess your rank
Yep.
video.
Yep.
Or there's a bunch of safe videos with, I feel like, content creation that you could always do.
Yeah, you can always fall back on. And I think that's good to have that list of kind of things in your head. Not, I mean, you mentioned having something on your notes app of jokes that you
Mhm.
could just pop off. But like having a go to, like, okay, today's been a little slow, but hey, we could do this, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
insert the content, right? So that's a really good thing. And I think this honestly leads into the next question from Jacob is Nachos, which is what advice do you have for up and coming content creators that are looking to be supported by brands out in the space?
I think, oof, this is a tough question. I think consistency is important when it comes to content creation. Uh, Unfortunately, no one cares about your break, no matter what the break is about.
Yep.
And I hate to put it that way, but I've, gone through so many life changes within the past 4 years. But the one thing I made sure to keep consistent is my content creation. And this year, like, I have 14 trips from January to December. And I need to make sure I stay consistent with content
Hmm.
between these 14 trips. If nothing else is consistent in my life, my content will
Yeah.
always be consistent. And I think brands see that. And brands also like your other brands' videos,
Yeah.
I think. So, like, when I made a video for Razer, like, I've had other companies reach out to me because they liked my Razer
Yeah.
advertisement that I made. So I think just always trying your hardest in your own content will make you get recognized by brands. Always putting yourself out there. I've always said, people always tell me, wow, Mia, like you're so lucky. And I think I am lucky to an extent, but if you don't put yourself out there to get lucky, you will never be lucky. Yeah.
I like that, and I think that you're right. Being consistent is such a important piece of this game. What do you think is more consistent in nature, like, or more important for you to be consistent in the short form content that you're doing or the live streams?
100% short form. Like when my VOD's gonna expire in
Yeah,
14 days.
yeah,
If I go on a trip for 14 days and that's my only mark on the internet, my mark is over
yeah,
in 14 days. So I think whether if it's short form or long form content, posting someplace else is always, always, always important. So like right now, tomorrow I'm leaving on a trip for 2 weeks. I'm going to a concert and I'm also going to Masters Toronto to see VCT as a creator. And I already have planned what I'm posting on what days. Maybe I won't post as consistently, but I do want to ever do like instead of post every day, post every 3 days. Just be like, "Hey guys,
yep,
don't forget like I
yep.
still exist and I'm still here."
Keep
Yeah.
it in front of you. Now, when you schedule this content, is it scheduled or are you going in each day and posting it yourself?
I wish I would schedule it and can schedule it, but I am a very like recently this year have been more busy than usual.
Yep,
So I've been having to do everything within the day before or
yep.
the 2 days before. So unfortunately I am going on vacation for 2 weeks, but I will be bringing my computer and I will need to set aside, like 2 hours out of a week to
Yeah.
make sure that my video is completely posted and stuff like that, which I don't mind it. I know a lot of people will look at me and be like, "Oh, you're working on vacation," and like I really don't mind it. Like I will take my 2 hours. I'll wake up at 6 a.m. if I
Yeah.
have to,
Yeah.
edit my video for 2 hours and have it posted for today and feel better with myself. Because if I don't do it, then I feel like I'm not doing my job as a creator.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't mind it, but I know that's not a lot of people's mindsets, which I also understand.
Yeah, and you do all your own editing and graphics.
Yeah.
What inspired you to learn those skills?
I think it's so much fun. Editing is one of my favorite parts of being a creator. Like I love being on camera. I love everything about it, but to take myself and then like morph it into this content or like this idea that I had. It's kind of like telling a story,
Yeah.
which I'm really bad at writing words.
Okay.
So to speak words, I'm actually very good at, which you would think goes hand in hand, but I have really bad grammar, so that's a part of my bad writing. Uh, but I just love editing. I love adding sound effects to stupid things that I do or memes that are trending and stuff. I also just, I love getting a reaction out of people as well. And I think editing for a reaction is my favorite part
Yeah.
of it because I get to see everyone's comments, like laugh at this specific part, or I know I did good as an editor when
Right.
someone repeats something I said in the video.
Yeah.
Like if I said like a joke and everyone's repeating that joke in the comment section, I know I did a good job at
Yeah.
comedic timing. Like, and then because I see those reactions, it makes me only want to do it more because I want to get more reactions like that. It's kind of like it's a domino effect. As
Yeah.
soon as you get one good video, you want the feeling of the next good video.
Definitely. What's the most rewarding piece of content that you have created to date, at least? Because I'm sure there's going to be plenty more after this.
Like video.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this. I think the video I was talking about with when I donated a skin to a kid, that also you asked me when do I feel like was my turning point? It
Yeah.
might have been that video.
That
It
okay.
might,
Yeah.
because after I posted that video, I will never forget. I had a final in one of my classes the next day, and this video was blowing up like 2 million views, 3 million views. Then everyone wanted a part two.
Yeah.
And in my email, I open it up. Riot Games messaged me. We would love, like, the whole office is watching this video. They're all bawling their eyes out. We love you so much. Like Riot Games
Yeah.
sent me this. It was like, we want to send you a PR package. Like, please let us know. We just like, we're so thankful to have you in our community. Then another Riot dev reached out to me and was like, we would love to gift this kid the Riot Buddy. Can we set this up? And like, a Riot Buddy is also like a charm that you could put on your gun that is gifted to people who do well in the community,
Yeah.
or like people that are like creators or like good examples in the Valorant community. So they were like, we would love to set up a date where we could surprise him. And then another thing, the kid was saying that how much he loved this one creator. And then I got to make him meet this creator in a game together. And then we made content that way. And then through that video, I also got my first sponsorship because a brand reached out to me and was like, hey, we would love to like sponsor you or like send you products. And I actually had a lot of people that sent me PR because of that video. And some of it was like my first like products I've received from brands ever. So from that one video, recognized from Riot, multiple Riot devs reached out to me and followed me. I mean, Riot Games followed me on Twitch and stuff like that. And then so many brands sent me things. And then just I really got put in the public eye. So many of my favorite content creators followed me off of that video.
Yeah.
So for me, and then I was doing my final the next day. My brain was like, all this stuff is going on and I have to present this final. And then I got 100 on my final. So that just made everything better.
Well, of course you did. I mean, that goes, without saying. That's definitely going to happen. Where can, first and foremost, is this pinned on your TikTok profile? Because I definitely want to make sure people can find this video.
I can pin it.
Okay.
I recently unpinned it, but I will pin it. It's old, so I was like, maybe people don't want to watch this video anymore. So I was trying to like put newer ones in the
Right.
pins, but I will
Well, you
repin
don't have to
this one.
change your strategy, but just as long as it's there, we'll search for
Yeah.
the Mia Mouse Riot Kid.
Yes.
But awesome. Well, okay, so it obviously at this point in this interview, like we've already talked about so many incredible things. I think one of the coolest things that is actually happening right now. You've talked a little bit about it, but tell us about the being selected for the Mastercard Gamer Academy and kind of what that whole process was like for you. And just give us kind of the rundown there.
Yeah, so Mastercard Gamer Academy is an awesome opportunity that I got blessed with this year. And it is a program that is for people that want to work in esports and in gaming under one of three branches. So the first one is professional gaming, then esports organization, and then broadcasted media, which is where I fall into the last category. I applied last year, which is the first year that the Mastercard Gamer Academy was a thing. And it was perfect for me because I just graduated from college in October of 2023. And then the application for the first year of the MasterCard Gamer Academy went live of December 2023. So I had nothing lined up with work, especially because I was trying to see how far I could get with content creation with myself. So I was like, I'm going to apply to this. This is perfect. This is meant to be. I'm excited, and I really deep down, like, I applied to it thinking I got it.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't have done that because I really disappointed myself when I didn't get it last year. But again, this year when I saw it come up, I was like, you know what? I didn't get it last year. I'm gonna apply one more time this year. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, no big deal.
Yeah.
And of course, the year that I literally sent in my application and forgot that I sent in the application, I get an email like on Lunar New Year. It was in January. It was in January at the end. I was like, congratulations, you got accepted to the Mastercard Gamer Academy. Make sure that like if you want to accept, you have your passport because you are going to Berlin, Vancouver, and Paris this year. So I was like, oh my gosh. And I was editing a TikTok video at the time on my couch. I like didn't even process what was going on. I went downstairs. I told my mom, you know, a thing I applied for like last year, I got into it this year. And she was like, why are you not screaming? Like, I wasn't even reacting when I saw the congratulations because I really couldn't believe it.
That's awesome. I love that I love that your mom was more excited about it at first.
Yeah.
Well, talk to me a little bit of this through the program. Obviously, I know that you're going to be like diving in and learning about different career opportunities
Yes.
within side of esports. Is there anything that you've been surprised by? Anything that you've learned about roles that maybe you didn't know existed?
Yeah, I mean, we had the opportunity to go to the G2 headquarters last month in Berlin, and it was such an amazing experience. I didn't realize how much goes into an esports organization. Like between the marketing team and the PR team and the like just how many coaches and analysts and like everything. There's so much that goes into it, so much thought that goes behind everything. And we got to sit down and do so many sessions with so many industry professionals, whether if it's hosts for VCT or a host for the LEC, or we had a session with the marketing team of G2 Esports, and we got to see what a day in their life of making content for an esports organization looks like. Everything has just been what I expected was like already so high, and
Right.
it blew the bar that I
Yeah.
set for this program already like exceeded it.
Absolutely. And that's what that's something we always talk about, especially on the shows, that that there's so much more to esports and gaming and content and all of these things than just being good at the game, right? There's this
Yeah.
entire industry of people that support professional esports, and that's so huge. And like for you to get a first, person view of this is huge. Obviously there's I'm sure a ton of great stories, and we've kind of been watching them through your content for
Yeah.
the last couple weeks, which has been great. Any standout moments for you from that trip to Berlin?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many, so I'm gonna give you my top 3.
Okay, I love it.
My in no particular order, these top 3 are in. but I obviously want to be in broadcasted media. So meeting and talking to Yinsu Collins, who is the host of BCT, was awesome. We just really got to talk about what she does or how much research
Yeah.
goes into being a host is crazy, or like making sure that you don't ask the same interview question that someone else did maybe the week before and stuff
Right.
like that. And then also we got to meet Shocks, which was really cool, who is the host for LEC for League of Legends. And we got to see what it was like to make a monologue as a host, and we got to present it on stage in front of her. And it was so cool because she got to give us real life like advice just
Yeah.
standing right there of what she would have done in that moment. And also like to see these people, like they're just real people and like I see them on camera all the time
Yeah.
and they are so sweet to talk to and like they all could tell like they've been in your shoes once. If you're
Yeah.
trying to get into esports, they know what it's like to get into this new industry that is still evolving every second of every single day. So they know the exact advice to give you, how to make you feel better or what to be worried for in the future, and it was like really good heart to heart. And then my number 3 would probably be with the social media team for G2. We got to make a social media video, a mock social media video of what it's like for them to produce content for G2. So they gave us like a few ideas of what we could do. Then we went through filming and they gave us like a deadline, like you have until this time to
Yeah.
film and then you have until this time to edit the video and then you have to present the video and then we're going to give you changes and you have to do these changes within this amount of time. And but while you're doing all this, someone on the team had to make a thumbnail for like the YouTube video. So I think that was a really cool experience because it just felt like that like rush of
Yeah.
everything going on. And honestly, I thought this program was going to help me like go to where I want to be, which it is. But now I'm so confused because now I love all these other parts of esports that I never thought I would like. Well,
Yeah.
not that I didn't think I would like, but now I'm getting introduced and I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, there's so many more options of things that I could do as a career than what I was always thinking in my head.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think that that is such a good like aha moment too, right? Like that
Mhm.
you realize that there's, a lot of other things, and just because you do one thing here doesn't mean that you can't do that other thing down the road, right? Like these
Yes.
opportunities can lead into each other, build into each other. You start small, you work your way up. Like those are all really
Yeah.
really great things, and I'm glad that you're getting to experience that through this whole academy, which is awesome.
Mhm. Yeah.
I do want to go to two questions from chat because I do see them here. We're
Yeah.
going to do a little quick rapid fire of these two questions. First one comes from the Queen of Salt, Anissa, and this is what skills do you think budding creators should master early?
I think editing and graphics.
Editing,
Number
graphics.
2 yeah, number 2 things.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. And then Ganesh Alla asks, which one of these works early in early stages of relatable content, following the content which is trending at the time. So I think he's asking, in the early stages of being a content creator,
Mhm.
building and creating relatable content or trying to chase the trends. Which do you
Yeah.
think is the best opportunity for new and starting creators to
Yeah.
follow to try to build that following?
I think doing trends is important to an extent.
Okay.
Because if you only do trends, then everyone's not liking the content because it's you. They're liking it because they like the trend
Yep.
most of the time. So whenever I will post a trending video, I will get maybe a lot of views, but and a lot of likes, but how many of those people are actually following me?
Following,
They
yeah.
probably found that video because it was a trend that they've been watching a lot and that's why it got referred to them. They
Yep.
didn't get referred my video because it's me. So I think you need to do trending videos to get exposure so people see your face, but you also need to build your own brand aside of these trending videos. Like what is something that someone's going to go to your channel that only you offer? So for me in Valorant, I'm a judge only raise main. And I also, so many people will follow me because of that.
Yeah.
But then they're like, oh, wait, this girl is funny, or she also knows how to do this, or she knows how
Yeah.
to do this. Then I can expand my content off of, like, now I started with this really small personality of myself. And now I built this bigger brand. As more people get to know me, they get to know more of my personality features. But again, in the beginning, I did do trending content as well. And I did feel like I got the most views out of it. But it wasn't until my own personal brand content blew up,
Yeah.
from that's how I gained my following.
Okay, awesome. You mentioned before about community and how important it feels for people to feel warm and welcoming when they come to your streams and they want to be part of your community. How do you foster that environment? Like, how do you continue to build a positive environment for your crew?
So I have amazing mods. I shout out mods. But I think, like, they keep it really good in chat. Like, whenever a troll will come in or something like that, we make sure to get rid of them. I also have a Discord, which I think every creator should have, every starting creator should have. And I let them know, hey, we're going to do customs this day. I try to do like 1 or 2 times a month, we do something fun.
Yeah.
And during my long streams, like subathons, I had so many events. I did a viewer award show. So, like, I recognized who was like the yappiest person in chat, who was the funniest person in chat, I like just off of like how, like, whose name I read every single day. So I did a viewer award show. I reviewed my viewers' setups. I guessed their ranks. I played Gartic Phone with them, customs with them. And you don't have to do this all the time, but I think it's a great way to actually get a human interaction with your chat, because sometimes you read chat and, like, you don't feel that human life form in chat. Like, sometimes it just looks like words on a screen, but
Right.
there's real people behind those names.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And building that community in Discord versus on stream, there's obviously some big differences. What are some things that you do differently with Discord than Twitch?
Discord is a lot more personable. I think, like, if someone has a question or quickly, which I always tell my stream, like, you're more than welcome. Anytime you go to New York, let me know. I'll give you recommendations of
Right.
restaurants you want to go to and stuff like that. That's more where Discord comes into play. So if they're like, Mia, I'm in New York, I'm looking for a coffee place. Here you go. Like, here's my favorite coffee place that you could go to. Or they'll send a picture. Mia, do you like this shirt that I bought? And, like, maybe not at all times I'm free to answer if I like
Right.
someone's shirt. But if I am on Discord and I see that notification, I'll be like, yeah, I like this shirt. Or if they want me to pick between two shirts, like, I'll do that too.
Yeah.
Like, maybe on Twitch, I don't have the time to pick between two shirts when I'm in the middle
Right.
of a Valorant game, you know? So,
Mm-hmm.
but when I'm on my free time, just see the notification come up on my phone, I will answer pretty much as I could.
I love that. What do you say to someone that says, "Hey, I want to become a content creator like you"? What advice do you give them to start off with?
I always tell them to prioritize um content that is not on Twitch. So obviously streaming is important, but if you want to really grow, posting on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram are your main three that you want to focus on. And I think a lot of people starting out streaming, they'll like hit streaming like constantly every single day for hours on end, and you won't grow that way.
Yeah.
And I will tell people this straight up, like, if you do this every single day and you don't post, it's not going to happen. I always recommend new streamers stream 2 or 3 times a day, but make sure you are posting every single day.
Yeah.
Take, instead of having 4 or 5 stream days and you stream for like 4 or 5 hours each of those days, take out 2 of those days. For those 4 to 5 hours, make as many TikTok videos
Yep.
as possible. Post 2 times a day or post 3 times a day when you're starting out. Get it? Because at this point, when you first start out, you have to like try throwing stuff at a wall, see what
Yeah.
sticks. Like,
Exactly.
keep on throwing it. And
Mm-hmm.
you need to, like, until you have a brand that is kind of recognizable, or like you've already made it to an extent, then you don't have to like overly do that
Yeah.
content because people know that you exist. But you need to make sure you make your existence known. And again, streaming on Twitch where your VODs expire are isn't gonna help
Yeah.
that. So what I recommend is stream 2 or 3 days and edit for 2 days, like fully edit as much content as you can.
Absolutely. And even if you're starting and hey, I don't know how to edit yet. Work through it.
Yeah.
Watch videos
Um,
for it. Like, right? Like,
but, like, there is also, like, having, like, CapCut on your phone
yeah.
now, like, is such a good tool for new editors. Anyone could my mom uses CapCut, like, any I think it's so easy to use. So, I think the not knowing editing, which you can learn,
Yep.
but I think now there's just so you can edit it inside TikTok
Yeah, there's
now.
so many options. My good friend
Yeah.
Bodie was showing me all his CapCut edits this past weekend,
Yeah,
and they were awesome. So like, you can totally do it.
exactly.
Now, obviously, you've collaborated with a lot of companies, different brands. I know for a lot of creators, getting that first brand and that first sponsorship is always
Yeah.
really challenging. For you, like, what kind of approach do you reach out to these brands? Obviously, some are reaching out to you. You know, you're waking up to emails, but what is your best
Yeah.
advice to creators on how to approach these conversations?
Yeah, I unfortunately, any brand that I've ever reached out to does not answer me.
How dare
So
them? How dare them?
I know, exactly, because I have been trying to get some curly hair product to sponsor me my whole entire 4 years of consecration, and no one answers me. But besides the point, um, I yeah, in the beginning, I did not get any brands that reached out to me. I was always so jealous of streamers getting packages from people and stuff like that. But as of like last year, like I have so many brands. Now I have to choose
Yeah.
which brands I want to work with because my inbox gets flooded like every single morning of people that want to work with me. And I think like putting yourself out there and putting your content out there, your authentic self content
Yeah.
is what really brands want to see.
They connect.
Because
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have an idea of what a streamer is or an idea of what a creator is, and will try to imitate that idea of that person. But another piece of advice is you have to be yourself because brands want that different side of you. Like we're all human, none of us are going to be the same. They want whatever you have to offer, like authentically being yourself is really what they want. So I had one of my brands, one of the brands, actually Razer, reached out to me and they were like, we saw your family videos.
Yeah.
We want your family to be in an advertisement. And I was like, oh, cool. Like I wrote up a script and I got my mom and dad in here and we filmed a video together. And
It's a
I will
fantastic
have
video. It was a very good one. I
thank
enjoyed
you. Thank you.
it.
I know for like an advertisement, usually they don't like perform very well, but that video did very well for an advertisement. I think it got like almost 30,000 views, which
That's awesome.
for an ad, like that's
Yeah.
unheard of.
Yep.
So
That's
yeah.
awesome. Speaking of ads, you recently were invited to come back to Full Sail to film a commercial during this year's Hall of Fame. Talk to me a little bit about what it was like returning to Full Sail as a graduate for like a professional project.
Yeah, so that was so cool. And like I owe all the full set opportunities to Bennett and everyone at Armada and Tracy and literally everyone at Full Sail is so awesome. I had to give the Full Sail glaze for a second. But it was so much fun. I've never filmed a commercial before, so I didn't know what to expect. I also didn't know if I was like built to be like an actor or something like that. I didn't know how much acting had to go
Right.
into doing a commercial. But as soon as I got there, like I just had to act like I was having fun at Full Sail. And I wasn't even acting for most of it. It was just me actually having fun. And it was so cool. I'm excited to see how the commercial turned out because I feel like we filmed so much content, we took so many pictures, and I have not seen one picture or one video playback or one anything. So when it comes out, it's gonna be a full surprise to me. I'm very excited. I also like not only did I love filming the commercial at Full Sail, but I love all of the events I've done at Full Sail. Even like when last year when I came there to host as well for XP League, it
Yep.
was so much fun.
Yeah, a lot of opportunities, and we're excited to see the commercial as well. So we will
Yeah.
definitely let you know when that comes. We do have another question from the chat. It's how do you incorporate these brand deals into your content, and any tips on making brand deals more fun?
So yeah, Brand deals, they're a little tricky because I know it's an ad, you know it's an ad, we all know it's an ad.
It's an
So it's
ad.
an ad. It's gonna happen. And some brands are easier to make fun content for. Some brands are a little harder. And
Yep.
I will admit, most of the times where a brand will message me and I literally can't see where my thought process is going with it, I deny it. Because if I can't make fun of it, no one else is going to have fun with it.
Right.
It's not going to be beneficial for either of us. So I mainly try to accept brand deals that I really feel like align with me and my brand. And I know what my chat likes too. A lot of times, say a headset company wants to send me a headset. I will say, well, can you send me 2 headsets and I'll give away one to my chat? And we could do a full stream supporting this headset, talking about this headset, reviewing this headset. And it's also beneficial for the people watching me because at the end of the day, you're
Yeah.
working with me, but you're working with my chat, you're working with my community because
Right.
that's who you want to reach out to. So I always try to make it some sort of beneficial way. I recently I play tested a game and I thought the game was super fun and I streamed it on Twitch and I said, hey, can you also send me 2 keys? I'll give them away to my chat and they get to play the demo along with
Right.
me. So then after people watch me play the game for a little bit, they got to see if they liked it because I said at the end of it, we're going to do a giveaway of a demo. So if you enjoy me playing it, then you could go and play it with your friends as well. And I think that was a great way to make it fun for me, make it entertaining for my chat because they knew at the end of it, they might have been getting something out
Yep.
of it as well. And just for TikTok videos, they do get very tricky TikTok videos because as soon as you see the paid partnership,
Yep. They're out.
everyone
Commercial
scrolls.
swipe.
So instantly, like I always know I have to do something more fun. I've really leaned into this really bad acting,
Okay.
like type of commercial, because I think it's very satirical. And it's like something that you'll see on TV where it's like, whoa, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it's like you could tell
Like the
it's very bad.
infomercial like
Yeah.
vibe. Yeah, I love it.
So I've leaned into this very infomercial vibe, which has been responding very well with my community because it's funny and it's not serious, and no
Yeah.
one wants to see serious because we're in gaming.
Yeah, we're having
No one
fun.
You're having fun. We want to have fun, and no one wants to watch something serious. So
Yep.
it took me 3 years of doing advertisements to finally change it. I just changed the way I did advertisements this year. So it's trial and error,
Yep.
but making it fun for everyone is important.
Awesome. All right, so we are at that point in the show where I have to say that we are going to have to end soon, unfortunately.
Okay.
But what we're going to do is we're going to give you a chance to tell people where they can find you, how to see your content, all of those types of things, and then we're going to do a couple like rapid fire questions. Okay?
Okay, cool.
How do people
So
find you?
you guys can find me on mainly TikTok at MiaMouse14 and also Twitch at MiaMouse14. I also will be streaming very soon after this stream
Yes,
if you want to catch it.
tonight, 7 p.m.
Yeah,
Right?
7 p.m.
Perfect. All right, cool. Rapid fire questions.
Let's do it.
I gotta stop making some of the good ones here at the end because we never get to them, and then they're always too deep for this. But what is one challenge that you hit as a content creator that you've overcome, and how did you push through it?
Looking at numbers, it's way too much.
Yes.
How did I push through it? Turning off numbers.
Yes. That is a very good one. You were 100%
Yeah.
right. All right, Valorant. Is it always supposed to be capitalized?
Yes.
Okay,
All
good.
Valorant needs to be capitalized. Yes.
How has your relationship with Riot evolved over time through everything that you've been doing?
So much. I like literally the fact that I'm going to Masters Toronto in like a few weeks, or not even like 2 weeks, and I'm going in the influencer section as a invited creator with Riot Games is crazy. I mean, I've got sent PR, I've got early access, and our relationship has just grown.
That's huge. That's huge. What advice would you give to little Mia about the journey when it got hard, how to keep going?
Stop worrying it's gonna work out. This is my main thing.
Yeah. Don't worry, keep going.
Yeah, don't worry, keep going, keep trying.
Where do you see your brand as a creator going within the next couple of years?
hopefully I will still be a creator, and I will also be doing on-air talent for somewhere in the esports, gaming, entertainment industries. I just want to grow as much as possible, mentally, physically, and just everything in between.
Yep.
And hopefully also have a job in the industry that is also supporting my content creation journey.
All right, final question. What is one thing that you haven't done yet that you're dying to try in either gaming or esports?
Anything?
Anything.
Like, I think being a field reporter for esports games is something that we don't see enough of,
Yeah,
and I think that we should make that a thing.
I like it.
And we need more field reporters in esports interacting with the crowd.
I love that. I love the fan engagement, right?
Yeah, one more piece of advice that I have for younger Mia that I just
Go
thought of
for it.
right
Go
now.
for it.
Take an off day when you feel gross
Yeah.
and you feel like you can't do it. Don't do it. Don't force yourself to do it. That day is not going to matter. Like now, I like wish I took those off days because I remember how gross I felt in that moment. If I don't feel good, if you don't feel good, if you feel like you have a fever,
Yep.
it's important to grind, but your health is more important.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Mia, thank you so much for being here. This has been an awesome episode. I really do appreciate it. Our very next episode of Have Game Will Travel is going to be on June 26th with Tom Screech, the instructor, esports management, and co-founder of CFGC, the director at College Esports News, former PlayFi and Esports Nace Star League. We're super excited to have Tom on the show. So we will see you on the 26th. But thanks again to Mia. We will see you next time.
Thank you.
Have a great night.